Hello, my name is Kayla Fuqua. I'm the Fund Development and Marketing Coordinator at the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynchburg, and that is the nonprofit organization which I'll be talking about today. The mission of the Boys and Girls Club is to use evidence-based programs that provide a positive, fun, and stable environment for our youth that produces winners, leaders, role models who make a lasting impact within our community. We believe that these skills are necessary for our members because it'll help them create a great future for themselves and the community around them. The idea of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynchburg was put into motion August 12, 2003, with the doors finally opening December 9, 2005. The club is located at 12th and Madison Street. Since 2005, the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynchburg has been at the forefront of youth and character development, working with young people from disadvantaged economic and social and family circumstances. The club has actively sought to enrich the lives of boys and girls whom other youth agencies have a difficulty reaching. The club is dedicated to ensuring that Lynchburg's at-risk youth have greater access to evidence-based programs, quality programs, and services that will enhance their lives positively and shape their futures. As a result of this, the club has been awarded with multiple prestigious awards, such as the Maytag Dependable Club, the Best Small Business in the Nonprofit Sector, and since then has opened up a teen center that allows our outreach to reach more youth. In June 2016, they also opened up a second clubhouse, which again expanded their reach within the community. Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynchburg provides a safe, clean, and fun environment for the local youth of Lynchburg. Within the club, youth can learn to be creative and have fun in the safe space. For each member of the club is enrolled in basic programming such as Be Great Graduate, Power Hour, and Healthy Life Choices. Be Great Graduate focuses on keeping members in school with good grades and attendance with the goal of graduating. The program partners with the Lynchburg City School System so that programmers and mentors have access to grades and attendance of all members. This is done to help target youth that are more at risk of dropping out so they can be enrolled in more enhanced programming and provided with a mentor to check in on them weekly. Power Hour is an hour of homework help and educational activities. Healthy Life Choices occurs during the period of snack, in which members receive a healthy snack and learn more about their nutritional choices. These programs and all other programs have three core areas of focus: academic success, leadership development, and healthy life choices. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynchburg follows the funding model Local Nationalizer, which incites the local community into supporting their causes that focus on providing mentorship, education, and safe space for at-risk youth. The money comes from fundraising, grants, and special events with very little help from the government. Donations make up 85 to 90% of the annual budget. Donations come in several different forms: individual, capital, pledges, and corporate. Individual donations provide the most income for the club because they are unrestricted and not limited. The second source of income, grants, normally account for 10 to 15% of the budget. However, they are not reliable because not every nonprofit is eligible for the same grant the next year. Special events is the final source of income. The Boys and Girls Club holds at least 4 special events throughout the year that normally bring in 5 to 10% of the budget depending on the registrations and the sponsorships they gain through that event. The club strongly believes in accountability and transparency. To show transparency, they review and share organization finances with the staff, board, and public who inquire to show what the club has done in the past year and what they plan on doing in the year to come. Answerability is the second way they show accountability within the club. They have an ability to address issues head-on in the press, with the person who the issue concerns, and so forth. Justification. The club always leads with authenticity. They show reason for their actions and are able to explain those to the public. Regularly, they assess our board's performance at a one-year meeting. It's a summit for all board members in which they participate in regulating what the club is doing and what the board's involvement is in that. The last and final part of their accountability strategy is how the board is formed. To become a member of our board, a recommendation must be made to a board from a community member, an application must be submitted, and an interview conducted. The purpose of this is to make sure that every board member is voted in, has the right attitude, drive, and passion and connection to the community that is needed to be successful. Each new board member goes through a formal orientation with a written agreement to understand their roles, responsibilities, and expectations. To make sure the board is held accountable for the decisions that are made, there is an evaluation done each year at the training summit that takes place in January. The main and most important role at the Boys and Girls Club is the executive director, who is Mark Sheehan. Mark has 30+ years experience with the Boys and Girls Club. He was even a member of the club back in the day when it was called Boys Club. Mark has the ability to set direction, work with the team, and has great organizational ability. He has the ability to develop action plans and always well prepared for meetings. He is also available to evaluate the entire program to determine if there are proven results, take responsibility to initiate change, confront problems, and resolve them quickly. He's also able to consider the long and short-term implications. The executive director has a key role in ensuring the success of a nonprofit organization. Mark is the connecting point between the board, staff, volunteers, members, and sometimes the community. A board member was chosen for the interview simply because all the information provided for the organizational profile was from a fund development and marketing coordinator who was a key member in the leadership team of the club. A board member would provide a different outlook because they work in a different capacity with the club. The board member interviewed was Barbara Miner. She's a lead board member involved with many committees and activities within the club. She has been a board member for about 1 year, but has been a donor and volunteer since the start of the club in 2005. Barbara's perspective on the mission of the club was slightly different than that provided up earlier. It provided more insight into what the club truly does and allows for members. From her quoted directly, "Additionally, Boys and Girls Clubs has a full-time professional leaders. They require no proof of character, meaning no matter their background, they are accepted. It is made sure no matter the economical background of the member, they can afford to belong. The club exists for everyone of all races, religions, and cultures, and provides a friendly atmosphere designed for youth." Her idea of what the mission of the club is explains it at a greater extent than what the actual mission is, and it gives a greater insight into what the club is actually doing for the youth of Lynchburg. One of the key areas of focus for the club is academic success. The area is built into all core programming of the club. It was interesting that Barbara's first thought about what stakeholders would find most impactful would be academic success. The club wants academic success because it's believed members with the ability to succeed academically can build a better future for themselves. From a stakeholder point of view, academic success provides actual progress reports and outputs that they can see. It's easier for a stakeholder to invest when they are told the club has a 100% graduation rate, with all members making a C or average or better. From creating the organizational profile and having an interview with a board member, there were multiple things that came to mind about what the club should focus on. Priority 1 was benchmarks. The club needs to make sure that they are measuring performance and making sure that they understand the cause. While having many programs at the club is great for our youth, we need to make sure that each program is performing to its fullest extent. If it's a program that only 2 youth are interested in, it may not be cost beneficial to continue that program where there might be one that all youth are interested in participating in. Also within the program, it's important to understand that the staff are on board and working in the right direction alongside the mission of the Boys and Girls Club. Staff need to be motivated, hardworking, and understand the mission. Staff who do not understand the mission may not meet the benchmarks required to make the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynchburg successful. There also must be accountability within the club. We have to understand who is responsible for reaching these benchmarks. Those who are responsible for reaching the benchmarks are the executive director, the board, and the staff, to whom they are accountable for, which is the donors, members, and community. They need to prove to those who are involved with the club that they are successful and are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Priority number 2 for the club is marketing. We want to make the club a high-impact nonprofit that's more than just a household name and shows importance of the nonprofit and explains exactly what we do. Surprisingly, many people believe that the club is still just a daycare center, when in reality, we have our members engaged in learning, creativity, and the need to get them to graduation and create a great future. The second part of marketing is making sure that we show accountability for what we're doing. We have to make sure that all the information is available to the public. And the best way to do that is through marketing and able to show transparency of what we do at the club. Throughout history, all nonprofits have needed citizens, producers, and consumers. Marketing allows us to attract those people who are dedicated to the mission and believe in what we do. Marketing is key to making sure that the Boys and Girls Club survives into the next generation of nonprofit and philanthropy. Throughout As a member of the leadership team for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynchburg, it is always interesting to complete these assignments using the club. Many times as an organization, a reflection on what we do, why we do it, or how we do it does not happen often throughout the year, but at key moments like our January summit. Normally this reflection is more strategic because we are trying to figure out the best direction, programming, and staffing for the club. Being able to sit down and create an examination of the club using this course, my personal knowledge, and really taking a look at our website as a resource allows me to evaluate how the club is seen to the public and what they can learn about us. This course actually allowed me to take what we're learning every day and apply it to work. For example, me being able to work with the boards. More recently, I've had to take on quite a bit with them. And using the reading Problem of Boards or Board Problem has really helped me able to bring everyone down to the same level. I actually realized that at times, board members can actually be very lost, but will not admit it. I've countered that problem with setting a clear agenda for these meetings, an action list, and understanding what we are trying to accomplish with specific committees. Barbara, as a board member that joined at the same time I did, has been a mentor and partner in learning how to navigate the board members. We actually sit down and discuss some of what I'm learning at times and how that can be used further in the mission of the club and how to work with others within this organization. Even though I work for the organization and pretty much know the ins and outs, this course has actually driven me to do more research and evaluate what we do every day. We understand what we do, but does the public understand? Being able to research and evaluate the organization from the bystander point of view has allowed me to see what we actually give the community to understand us. For example, our website. We understand what's going on with it, but community members actually don't after surveying them and are seeing if that has been a useful tool. So it'll be interesting to continue to do this kind of research and evaluation from the bystander point of view to see if what we're doing actually is being conveyed to the public correctly. As I wrap up the discussion about the Boys and Girls Club, I've had one question in the back of my mind to ask everyone. How did your nonprofits hold themselves accountable other than financial transparency? I found that there were many interesting ways that we did at the club, so it'd be great to hear about what your view is on that.